Hello everyone, this is Boichi. Oh man, I feel dizzy. Wearing this mask while making video is very hot, so I'm preparing a new version. Now it's time for today's video. Actually, I filmed this video yesterday. I recorded a response to the question over an hour. After filming, I ponded myself. It seemed like I didn't answer that well, so I felt like I needed to reshoot it. And here we go. Let's read the question sent by one of my subscribers. It's from the Japanese channel. Thank you very much for the question. Hello, Boichi sensei. I'm really happy that you answer and help beginners. Please tell us how beginners can make money with manga to grow as mangakas without financial problems. The reason I am asking this question is because it is an important issue for my future. I'm still a teenager. However, I'm about to leave my parents' house soon, which means I'm going to be independent. Next, I want to learn how to make money with the manga that I love. I want to know how to make money with my manga drawings because I want to keep drawing manga. This is an excellent question and story. I know working as a professional mangaka is very difficult and time-consuming. Okay, he needs to gain financial benefits and continue to develop his skills until his manga is finally announced. That's the question I received, and it's a very good question. The reason this question is good is that it conveys a vivid sense of reality. Questions with such detailed realism are especially possible in Japan and Korea because there are many aspiring manga artists like him. Mr. Director, why do you think that is?
Is it because many people dream of becoming mangakas?
That's right. Sometimes you seem like a genius. First of all, the number of people aspiring to be manga artists is many in the Japanese manga industry and Korean webtoon industry. Next, both countries have a huge market. Not just any manga industry, but a very large and powerful industry with thousands of artists serializing at the same time in Japan and Korea. There are countless authors. It means that the probability that there's a mangaka living in your next door. You see, here in Kyoto City, Saitama, there's at least one mangaka. This reality, the fact that you can debut as a pro mangaka in Japan, the vividness that you can feel by making the same efforts and studying the same way is bound to be different. It would be wonderful if aspiring manga artists worldwide could share such questions. I hope aspiring manga artists worldwide to share their concerns and questions. Additionally, if there are any Korean aspiring webtoon or manga artists watching my channel's videos, please do ask your questions. No matter which country you live in, your questions are always welcome. First, if we analyze the question a bit, it's about wanting to gain financial benefits because publishing manga takes a lot of time. From my experience, even if you serialize a manga or publish a manga book that is a tankobon, your financial situation won't improve immediately. Publishing a tankobon doesn't solve the financial problems of debuting rookie artists as soon as you think. In most cases, even when a tankobon is released, it doesn't improve significantly. So how does it improve? It only improves when your work is serialized stably. But from my experience, even if the serialization continues stably for several years, does it improve financially and solve the financial problem? No, it doesn't. Most mangakas do not become financially stable even after 10 or 20 years of working as mangakas. Why does that happen?
Is it because if the serialization stops, they become jobless?
The reason is that manga is part of the arts and entertainment business. If you're looking for a financially stable job, consider working for big companies. Income in the arts and entertainment business can be quite unstable. It's financially unstable, but you love to draw manga. What does it mean to love it because it's just unstable? Some artists and some works can gain enormous wealth and fame depending on their popularity, right? Yes. Some authors can achieve much better results than working at a large corporation. Therefore, the arts and entertainment business is indeed unstable. And that's the fun and good fact. But realistically, most professional artists remain financially unstable even after debuts. Therefore, financial issues are a very important question. So thank you for the excellent question and we can discuss this together. However, it's hard to accurately grasp his current situation from just asking the question. All I know is that he is a teenager and about to leave his parents' house to become independent and needs financial income. But it's hard to see if he has already become a mangaka, if he won a prize in a manga contest, and what his family's financial situation is like. After contemplating this question for several days, I decided to discuss it in 3 parts. First, the general financial issues faced by aspiring manga artists who are about to graduate the high school. Second, there are financial issues faced by those who must be independent after graduation. Third, the income situation of new mangakas who have won a prize in a manga contest or have debuted but have limited income. I will discuss these 3 cases. Here goes the first. The general financial issues faced by aspiring manga artists who are about to graduate the high school. My most general answer is, if possible, don't rush to become independent from your parents. And try not to take on any part-time jobs. What about making money for a living? Well, it's better not to worry about making money. Why? Because there's so much to study to become a mangaka. Following the curriculum diligently doesn't guarantee you'll debut as a professional mangaka in 4 years. Becoming a pro mangaka doesn't work like that. Financial stability through serialization, strong tankobon sales, and maintaining a certain level of popularity might come next year, 4 years after debut, 40 years later, or it might never happen. No one can guarantee it. Becoming a mangaka isn't like going to a prestigious university to major in computer science or management, graduating, and then landing a job at a major company. It's not a set path, and you can't predict how things will turn out. So what does it mean that there is no way to guarantee it? It means you want to achieve what you want as soon as possible. Then what should you do? You must be extremely lucky, a genius, or save time. Honestly, I'm neither a genius nor a lucky person, so I know well. The reason I can give you better advice than other mangakas is because I can say that saving time is amazing. All we need is talent, but I never had an abundance of it. I really wanted to overflow with talent throughout my life. Despite lacking both talent and luck, the reason I was able to continue as a mangaka was because I saved time. So, I don't recommend focusing on earning money through other part-time jobs instead of studying manga. The best way is not to become independent, and if you stay at your parents' home for a while, your parents will give you breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you can save your time. Your mom might even wash the dishes for you. Sometimes, you should do it for your mother too. You generally save the time for dishwashing. Your mom might even do your laundry. It also saves you time. But you shouldn't waste that precious time playing games. Instead, use it to study manga. Therefore, I recommend not becoming independent. Even if your parents insist that you become independent when you turn 18, promise that you won't be playing games or hanging out with friends, but will focus solely on studying manga to become a pro mangaka. You should even be able to say, I could live in a corner of a basement and study manga there. Tell them you'll work very hard to become a mangaka and ask if you can stay with your parents. Have a thorough discussion with them about this. Personally, I recommend this. Another solution involves help from the government program. This advice is for aspiring manga artists globally, not just in Japan. If the government can help them, how exactly should they help? They could build and operate centers where aspiring manga artists can live, study, and work with low rental fees or even for free. Of course, not everyone could use them. Since taxes and government programs fund it, you'll likely need to undergo interviews and evaluations. Programs like this are a game changer for aspiring mangakas in countries where the manga market is non-existent or just beginning to form. They are essential facilities and programs. Therefore, I urge governments worldwide to consider building such centers to support aspiring manga artists. This would be a wonderful initiative. Some people might question why our precious tax money should be used for those who want to study manga. This is a valid point. Others might argue that such funds should be used to support all young people who want to study, and they'd be right. Someone might even ask, I want to become a chef, why isn't there a center for chefs? This is also a valid concern. However, why aspiring manga artists? because they are treasures of their country. They have a significant impact on the country's culture and soft power. Aspiring manga artists in Japan are treasures. I'm okay with my taxes being used to help and support them. Therefore, the concept of such centers is a valuable one. That's the general idea. The second point concerns those who need to become independent for various reasons, such as a parent's firm philosophy, societal expectations, a personal desire for independence, or financial reasons that require moving to a larger city or the capital to study manga. When independence is unavoidable, ask them for help. Request some money that you can borrow. Assure them that you will repay it, but ask for an interest-free. Only parents can usually provide an interest-free. Sometimes friends can provide money without paying interest. Ask your parents for help. This idea comes from a Japanese doctor I admire who gave similar advice to someone in financial difficulty. Some people might suggested borrowing a little money from their parents, reducing their burden and allowing them to solve their problems. One of his patients followed his advice and his problem was resolved. It is good advice to help aspiring manga artists too. If borrowing money from parents isn't an option, consider seeking small support from people who support you. Even a little help from your supporters, like friends, relatives, your boss from a part-time job, or your neighbor, can be significant. Or no one willing to support you, you might still need to be perceived as a promising, aspiring manga artist. But don't worry, it's not too late. You can become an excellent aspiring manga artist from now on. Even small help is valuable. For example, if you start living independently and can get help with dinner, that's significant. Even small financial support can be beneficial. When I debuted in 1993, the short story I created in the winter of 1992 led to my debut. While I was working on it, I couldn't afford screen tones. So I asked my friends and sister to give me screen tones as an early birthday present. I know that it was a ridiculous request, but they bought me screen tones before my birthday. One friend said, "Hey Boichi, if you become a mangaka, I'll give you a beret as a gift. You should wear a beret and draw manga." Thanks to the screen tones they gave me, I finished the short story and made my debut. And the following year, he gave me the beret for my debut present. I still have that beret, which was gifted to me in 1993. Here it is. This is my treasure. I'll try it on. I wore this hat yesterday, and it looks really funny with the mask like this. I hope you have someone around you who can help, just like I did. Receive their help and become a great mangaka. I feel sorry for those who supported me because I couldn't become such a great mangaka. But you all can become better mangakas than me and support other aspiring manga artists. Wouldn't that be great? Next, another good method that we already know. Earning money is good, but what if you could spend less money? How about being frugal? What would it be like to live on 50,000 yen a month instead of earning 100,000 yen a month? You could reduce the time spent earning money by half. You can focus that much more on studying. Here's an essential principle of frugality. Don't spend time to save money. Why? You are saving money due to a lack of time. You're not saving money to prepare for retirement or to buy a car and a house. You can do that later when you become a famous mangaka. You're saving money to focus on studying. So, you must choose ways to save money and time. This is the crucial point for all aspiring manga artists. There's a way to do part-time jobs, yes? You might have to work part-time if you don't have any savings. In the past, there were cases like this among aspiring manga artists in Korea. You are from the countryside? There's an extra room here, so you can stay there if you want. Some people offered such help. It would be great if you had such nice people around you. Don't worry about the room rental payment. Just focus on your study. If you are hungry, just bring your spoon and join our table. There were such kind people. It would be fantastic if you had people like this around you. But usually, that's not the case. That happens if you are fortunate. Anyway, there will be situations where you have to do a part-time job. For most students, part-time jobs are a great experience. You earn some money, gain life experience, and learn a lot. However, in my opinion, part-time jobs aren't as beneficial for aspiring manga artists. They're relatively less beneficial compared to others. It's better to do fewer part-time jobs. If there's a part-time job where you can use your manga skills, that would be great. Among them, The best is being a manga assistant. Suppose you can be recognized by an editor of a manga magazine and become a manga assistant through their introduction. In that case, you can earn money with manga, improve your skills, participate in a professional artist's work, and learn various things. You might even learn a lot from the professional mangakas if you're lucky. Working from home has many advantages and conveniences, but I recommend commuting to and from the studio. Because learning is most important. It's much better to see the professional mangakas at work in person, how they work, and how they manage their deadlines and schedules. I can strongly testify that it's much better. My studio staff's improvement speed is completely different when they work from home and when they come to my studio. It's totally different. I've tried to teach remotely and in person over the years, and no matter how much effort I put in, the effectiveness of working in the studio is entirely different. I've experienced it countless times. I can assure you of this because I've cross-checked it. Next, there are manga events like Komekit where you can sell your doujinshi. It will be great if you succeed as a popular doujinshi artist, but this is a very rare occurrence. What if you have to live independently from next year and need to earn a living expenses? You might think, I'll participate in Komekit at the end of this year and try to earn money by selling my doujinshi there. You might be confident in your drawing skills and believe you could become popular. But if you fail, all your plans could fall apart. There's a high probability that you'll end up in the red and lose all your money making doujinshi. Doujinshi requires self-publishing, so there's a big risk. Recently, there have been more job opportunities in the gaming industry and the digital manga era. There are various job opportunities. Finding such work is great. But what I recommend is not just earning money with your skills, but also gaining experience and learning through the work. Third, if a government program and manga center could support these independent young adults, it would be a tremendous benefit for countries with a small economy or those without a manga industry but wanting to develop one. Additionally, it would be highly advantageous for countries with large economies to start to build manga industries. Even those born and living in wealthy countries may not necessarily be financially well off as aspiring manga artists. How can young manga artists in their late teens and early 20s achieve financial stability? As I mentioned, it's difficult for young new mangakas to achieve financial stability. Even you're older, it's not much changed. Even after debuting for 20 years and reaching your 40s, financial stability as a mangaka is challenging. In reality, most mangakas don't become wealthy or financially stable even in their 40s and 50s. And I emphasize again, that's what makes being a mangaka is fun. That's the exciting part. If someone wants to become a mangaka for financial freedom, they are either a surprising genius or... If you seek money, study hard, go to university, and get a law or medical degree. Or you can join a large corporation. I'm not sure about at companies or at business. Achieving financial stability takes work. However, this doesn't mean you shouldn't put in the effort. Aspiring manga artists often choose to be manga assistants. In the past, even new pro mangakas used to do a lot of assistant work. Even experienced mangakas often worked as assistants during their breaks between serializations and in their free time. There was a fellow mangaka I knew in Korea back in the 2000s. He was quite a famous mangaka and had a stable serialization for a long time. His books sold quite well. After his serialization ended, he wanted to maintain his team and studio. But he was short on money. Even though his book sells well, his income was modest by the standards of the Korean manga industry at the time. So, to maintain his team and studio, he worked as a waiter at a nightclub. It was an interesting but sad story that I'd like to share with you one day. Nowadays, assistant work has decreased a lot. In Korea, as I've heard, the assistant system still exists but has declined and is avoided. In Japan, I also hear such stories occasionally. There are many ways, but the best way is to draw manga quickly. Speed and the ability to draw various types of manga are important, but speed is the most important of these. The second is the ability to draw various types of manga. Drawing speed is the most important. New artists must create proposals, handle tasks requested by investors, and do additional work. For these, you need to be fast. You must be able to create manga quickly. Suppose you are a rookie with the skills to draw manga quickly and in various styles. In that case, even if you still need to secure a serialization in a magazine, you can still make a living by regularly publishing short stories. If the payment per page is 10,000 yen and you can create a 24-page short story monthly, you could earn 240,000 yen. This amount allows you to manage your living expenses. To produce a 24-page short story in a month, if you spend 10 days planning and preparing and another 10 days on thumbnails, you must complete the drawing in 10 days. To finish within 10 days, you need to complete 2.5 pages per day, including sketching and toning. This is not an impossible number. If you can finish your drawing quickly, it is achievable. You can gain even more time if you can draw thumbnails and storyboards quickly and don't need the full 10 days. It's not impossible. It's possible. If you think it's impossible, it's because you work slowly. Though I say this, I also drew very slowly when I was a rookie. My bad. I was slow too. When I was an aspiring manga artist, after taking the university entrance exam, I went home and started drawing immediately. By the next day, I had drawn up to 27 pages, including the final touches. It was my last day of my senior year of high school. When I was a rookie mangaka, I intentionally drew slowly, and saving money as a rookie in the field was my valuable life experience. I saved a lot when I was a rookie. However, I found the experience enjoyable and something to be proud of. And saving money can be surprisingly enjoyable, because it's saving for the sake of my dream. Becoming a mangaka is your dream too, right? It's saving to do what we love, so I found it very enjoyable. In my experience, cooking was a great way to save. Cooking improves your quality of lifestyle, relieves stress, and most importantly, saves on living expenses by avoiding eating out. Lastly, what if the state operated centers to solve the financial problems of aspiring manga artists and rookie mangakas? I mentioned that it would be good to have a state-operated center for them. But this time, what if there were centers for new or non-mainstream authors who create great works but don't sell well? There are support programs like this in Korea. I keep talking about manga support centers because I have seen and experienced them, and I know they are very helpful. They are incredibly beneficial. They have a huge impact. I hope that the government to run a center for those rookie mangakas. The Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs runs a program where they gather dozens of aspiring manga artists and support them in their studies. I had the honor of being invited to their award and graduation ceremony. I think it's a really wonderful thing. Thank you very much. I am very grateful for the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs efforts. If I may add, it would be great to support at least 1,000 people and ensure they can live off their art. These initiatives can help someone. People might say, "You sound like Don Quixote." So what? If it materializes, someone will benefit, the manga industry might see great things happen, and a country's culture could develop further. This is all about the dreamer's space. Over the years, Mr. Director and Steve and I have been planning something, and I think we'll reveal and try it out this time. Once a month, we will invite an aspiring manga artist to our studio to ask me questions and discuss things. And we will make a YouTube video of it. In return, we will give the participant a 10,000 yen appearance fee. While 10,000 yen may not be a lot of money, it can buy some screen tones or cover a few meals. As I mentioned earlier, even a little help is better than nothing. It saves you time. You can come and comfortably ask me any questions. What do you think? If you want to participate, please leave a comment with any video. Mr. Director will provide an email address, so please send us your profile, thoughts, self-introduction, what you want to ask, and what you want to learn. If you send your email, we will review the applications and invite you our YouTube studio. Filming conditions are that your face and voice will be shown while I wear a mask. Please bring your mask if you don't want to show your face. I'm wearing this to somewhat emulate Jump mangakas. You know, wearing this mask is very hot. When Jump mangaka senseis comfortably reveal their faces and voices, I will remove my mask, too. Participants will receive a modest appearance fee and get to ask questions, and by sharing on YouTube, it will help other aspiring manga artists worldwide. Mr. Director will pick you up at the station, bring you to my YouTube studio, and then take you back to the station after filming. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye everyone.